Okay, here's my note card and my three adult audience members. My name is Rachel Lane. I'm majoring in Human Services, and I'm taking this class to get better at public speaking. Now, when it comes to giving a speech, most of us are not entirely excited about the idea. In fact, it's been told by many experts that one of the #1 fears among society today is public speaking. Although we may not like giving speeches, all of us have our strengths and weaknesses. Today, I'll be talking about my strengths and weaknesses as a public speaker, but also ways in which I can overcome these weaknesses. The first of which my strengths is I'm able to project my voice and really enunciate what I say. This has been contributed to by 3 things. The first of which is during middle school and high school when I participated in acting and choir. In acting and choir, you have to project your voice and really enunciate the words because most of the time the audience is quite a distance from you and you want to make sure they really know what you're saying, otherwise everyone will be really confused. I also generally have a fairly loud voice, so I'm told. I don't pay attention to it that much because I don't hear my voice very often, but I'm often being told to quiet down, so I guess that means I'm pretty loud. I also grew up in a family with 7 kids. I don't know how many of you grew up in large families, but when you're the second oldest, you have to make sure you can talk over everyone else. Otherwise, your voice really just fades into the background. Another one of my strengths as a public speaker is I'm able to continue talking without running out of ideas. In high school, I participated in debate. In debate, you don't really have any practice as to what you're going to talk about or argue against the other team. You have to make sure you really know your material and the evidence so that you are ready to talk on any topic they may present to you. This has really helped me being able to speak on the spot and answer questions as confidently as I can. Another way in which I'm able to continue talking is in day-to-day conversation, I generally talk a lot. This can be good or bad, but when it comes to public speaking, I'm able to continue with my ideas, and if I forget something I wanted to say originally, I can make it seem as though I didn't because I'm able to cover it up very well. Although I have my strengths as a public speaker, unfortunately, I also have my weaknesses. The first of these weaknesses is I have major stage fright. Now, some of you may be asking yourselves, well, she participated in acting, singing, debate, how does she have stage fright? However, the answer is these are all completely different than giving a speech. In debate, you only perform in front of 1 or 2 judges, and you don't really have to see them again. So you generally aren't too scared about what they'll think of you. In acting and choir, it seems as though you take on a whole different character, so you're pretty much a conductor for somebody else. So it's not really you speaking, it's the other person, which means I'm not as scared. Another one of my weaknesses is I generally talk really fast. I apologize if I've been doing that during this speech. I'm really trying to work on that. But an example of this is growing up in my church, they have youth talks. These generally last from 2 to 5 minutes for those ages 12 to 17. Now when I'm asked to give a talk, I prepare it so it's generally 5 minutes. I go over it, but when I actually get up and I see everybody, it usually lasts maybe a minute and a half, which isn't good because nobody really knows what I talked about. In fact, sometimes I may not even know what I talked about. Although I have these weaknesses, there are many ways in which I can improve. One of these ways is I can make sure to prepare my material thoroughly. This can help me to make sure I am confident in my ideas and I will not run out of things to say because if I forget something to talk about, I can jump right back in and come up with something else. Another way in which I can improve is through visualization. Now by visualization, I don't mean picturing the audience in their underwear. When people say that, I think that would distract me more than it would actually help me. But by visualization, I mean before I give up to give a speech, I can picture myself giving a confident, relaxed, and polished speech. This will help me when I get up because I will not be so scared as to how everything will come out because I've already pictured it. Now, although we don't like giving speeches, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses in these areas. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you think In other words, if I can get through this speech, which I'm pretty sure I just have, I can get through anything. I have no reason to be scared because I've already faced my fear. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you.